Hey guys, I want to show you how I would create a time tracking quilt. But before that, I want to show you what I would do when I was in the preschool to document where children are. Before going to the preschool, I would very likely create a table with 8 rows. I would put the child's name here. And then every 5 minutes, so let's say we started at 10 o'clock, I would document where they are in the classroom. I would have one of these tables for each child that I was observing. So I would have a total of 5 tables, and I would print that out and take it with me to the preschool. And as I was observing, I would document where they are. So maybe at 10 o'clock, this child was in the science area, and at 10:05, they were still in the science area. But at 10:10, they were in the blocks. So that's how I would keep track of where the children are throughout my observation. And remember, at 10 o'clock, I'm also going to observe, say, John Doe. And he's a little bit older. He may be in the outdoor. He might be at the outdoor climbing structure at 10 o'clock. Same place at 10:05. And at 10:10, perhaps he is now inside at the snack table. So I would do this for the same times for all 5 children. Now I'm going to get rid of all this and talk about how I would later, after coming home, create the quilt. Again, I would just use this while I was in the classroom observing children. So to create my assignment, I always want to start with my name. Just learn how to spell it correctly. And the date. And then my assignment. To create the quilt itself, using Google Docs, I would go to Insert, and I would insert a table. My table needs to have enough for 5 children, so at least 5 rows, and a space for their name, plus 7 time intervals. So that is a total of 5 columns, 8 rows. I guess I would need 6 columns because I also need an area for the time. So here I would make my labels. And here I would put in the child's name. I don't need to know their exact birthday, I just need to know the month and the day. So if you ever have a site that is asking you or telling you you can't know their birthday, tell them that's fine. If you could just know the month and year, that would be sufficient. So here I'm going to start inserting pictures of where the child is in the class. But before I do that, I very likely need to create my key. My key is going to go below, and I'm again going to insert a table, and let's make it 3 by 3. There's 9 areas in the classroom. Each classroom will very likely be different depending on where you're observing and what's going on. To insert a picture in this box, I'm going to go to Insert, Image, and then search the web. I'm going to make this one kind of fun, and let's do pictures of unicorns. So this picture of a unicorn, I'm going to resize this to make it just a little bit smaller. This picture of a unicorn is going to represent snack. Again, I'm going to insert an image of a unicorn again. Stick with the theme, I guess. And let's see, this image is going to represent the outdoor climbing structure, because it totally looks like he's climbing. And so on and so forth. So for each area, I would have a picture, and I would say in my key what that represents. Up here, I am not going to write the area that they're in, but I'm going to use a picture to show where they are. So I'm going to copy this by pushing Control-C. And up here, let's say that Jane Doe was in the climbing structure at 1010. I'm going to push Control-V, and that will insert my unicorn that represents the climbing structure in the column or in the area, the cell for 1010. Let's say I think that we had observed John Doe, who was a little bit older at 10 o'clock. He was in the climbing structure, and he was there again at 10:05. But he was at the snack table at 10:10. So our third time we looked up and looked to see where John Doe was, he was at the snack table. So I would fill in all of these cells with all the children that I observed. And I would fill them in with all the pictures that are represented in my keys or all the areas that they were in the classroom when I made those observations. I hope this helps. After I am finished, I would probably just make sure that it's saved. Google Drive will save automatically, and then submit it to your assignments drive. This is also a very easy way to put it onto your portfolio, which we'll add our observations to later. So if it's in Google Drive, it's really user-friendly for using your Google portfolio as well. Do you have any questions? Please let me know.